What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814 EDC, and today I'm ready to do my full review on the Kershaw Launch 20. Now, this is the latest and I think the greatest rendition and addition to the Launch series from Kershaw. You guys all know the Launch series is a very popular, not budget, but like not very expensive, out the side auto line from Kershaw. They're all 100% American made, which is really nice. And like I said, they come in, very competitively priced, compared to your ProTex, your Microtex, your Heratex, all the, the premium USA made stuff, which those are great. Like, don't get me wrong, the ones that I've handled. But Kershaw, I think, packs a really good amount of value into their line of the Launch series. And I think that this Launch 20, now I've only handled two of them, the Launch 19 and the Launch 20, but I've, watched a ton of videos on them. They've been around forever. I think that this is the best one yet. I just think it looks great. It functions great. And it just has, something about it that I really enjoy. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into this review. This is coming in via the Lefty passaround group, which is, you guys probably already pretty much guessed that's where it was coming from. It's where 99% of my review videos come from, with the one odd knife that I buy myself kind of scattered in there. But this is from the Lefty passaround group, and I found it online on cutleryshop.com, so I'm going to leave a link to that below. It was sold out on Blade HQ and a couple other ones I looked at, and I don't want to leave a link directly to Kershaw because you always pay, MAP pricing, more of a full price for it. So it is currently in stock on Cutlery Shop. If you're interested, always check it out down below. And yeah, the Launch 20. You guys can see that this is a very simplistic looking design, but I love it. I love the materials too. You guys can see that this is a raw aluminum scaled knife with some marbled carbon inlays. I am not the biggest fan of marbled carbon fiber, but I do think it looks good when it's done right, and I really enjoy this. And I just think it looks good contrasted to like the raw aluminum. I'm a big just plain tie raw type of guy. I love just, I'm a no frills, just kind of simple guy when it comes to my EDC stuff. Sure, I love pop of colors and everything like that every once in a while, but most of my collection is just kind of plain Jane, simple basic colors, and that's why I'm attracted to this so much. Just a nice inlay on this side. You guys can see this has holes, so you can switch the loop over style deep carry clip around, which is very nice. The clip is not countersunk into the scale, but you do have flathead screws, which is very nice. I wish that they would stop branding their pocket clips with Kershaw. I just don't love branding on pocket clips. I think it's kind of tacky in my opinion. But this is in MagnaCut on the blade. There is the logo right there for USA made on this beautiful sheep's foot Wharncliffe, however you want to slice it. I think it's more of a Wharncliffe, but blade, you guys can see the nice grind lines right there. Kershaw Auto. No internal milling, but it's pretty lightweight to begin with. You got blacked out hardware. I just think it looks really clean, really crisp. And, MagnaCut, raw tie, carbon fiber, of course the button for deployment right there. Deep carry clip, reversible, all the good things you want in a knife. So you guys can probably guess, getting a 5 out of 5 when it comes to materials. Some quick specs for you guys. So the RC hardness on the MagnaCut is 62 to 64, which is pretty nice for a production, steel. When it comes to MagnaCut, you have a blade length of 3 inches. You have a blade thickness of 0.12 inches. You have a closed length of 4.2. You have an overall length of 7.2 from tip to butt, which is very nice. And then it comes in weighing only 2.3 ounces, which is phenomenal. It's not a very big knife. Like I just said, 3-inch blade, just over 7 inches total. But it feels really good in the hand. The lightweightness is incredible. Just all the things you want, I feel like, in a perfect package. This has it. So this is only the first rendition of, the colorways that come in. I'm assuming with it being super popular, we'll see some more, maybe variations and different colorways coming out in the future. But I really do like this, just, how it is. It looks really good. So 5 out of 5 on the materials. Next up, we're going to look at aesthetic, and I'm already going to write a 5 down. I just kind of gushed over how much I really like the look of it, and I just think it looks, so simple, but just so good. I love how you pretty much have, from the point of the blade right here, you pretty much have a straight line the entire way back. Then you come to this slanted, Down here, you have pretty much a straight line. It does groove in a little bit, but I mean, it's just, it's so sleek. And I think Kevin called it this in his review. He called it almost like futuristic, and I do get those vibes. It's just, I love how the handle's kind of fat up here for like, you know, your wraparound with your thumb and your pointer finger, but then it kind of skinifies, whatever you want to say. I kind of just made that word up, but it kind of gets nice and skinny back here. It looks so good. I love a Warncliffe or reverse Tanto or sheep's foot, whatever you want to call this blade. I feel like everyone has different preferences and different names for things, but I think this is a Warncliffe reverse Tanto. Just looks so good. I mean, you have a nice thin edge, nice pointy tip up there for piercing tasks. Those grind lines look great. I just think that this is an absolutely fantastic looking knife. And when I saw Kershaw drop this on like their review or whatever they do for like quarters, I couldn't, like, I kept looking at it on Instagram, and I would just watch like the reels, and, you know, I would watch a lot of reviews. I've just been kind of, like wrapped up in it, or I've just been like in awe sort of how much I enjoy looking at this knife. And then when I saw Kevin get it in and throw it in the pass round, I was just super stoked to get it in. So I think it's an easy 5 out of 5 with the aesthetic. I think that this is the best looking launch they've ever come out with, and I think it's one of the better looking knives for me personally in a little while. And that's saying a lot, because I like a lot of knives. But next up is action. So of course this is a push button out the side auto. You have a button right there with some, not really jimping, but just some milling on it, some rounded milling. Excuse me. It isn't, it's a little bit proud of the scale, but they tried to keep it as slush as possible, which is really nice. It's an auto, so I mean, obviously it's going to bang right out. And I do think that this hits harder than the Launch 19 that I handled. It just fires right out. And it's nice because you have to, I'm pushing it. I have it pushed down, pretty flush with the scale. So you really have to push it the whole way down to release the knife and to have it spring open, which is a little bit, kind of peace of mind for when you have it in your pocket. If you happen to bump against it, it takes a little bit to push out, but it's super easy. As long as you're grabbing onto the knife, put your thumb on the button, it fires right out of there. The action is great. Like, I have not handled a ton of autos in my lifetime, probably just a handful here and there. The only auto that I've ever, no, it's false. My first auto was like an old Boker Keyhone from Blade HQ. My first real auto was a Microtech LUDT, and I think that's it, unless I'm forgetting them. It's crazy. I've been collecting for, it's going on 5 years now, so it's hard to remember every single knife you've had in. Sometimes I get in and I sell pretty quickly or trade, but this hits very hard. This hits, for all things considered. It hits very, very well. It hits, from what I can remember from my Microtech, it hits very comparable to that. Just fires out very, very reliable. It just thwacks out, and this is definitely, it's fun to do. Closing action, of course, you have the spring there, so you gotta hold the button in, push it down. You can do it one-handed, but I highly recommend just making sure you're, kind of push it with your pointer finger, and then I get my thumb up here and pull it closed. This spring is decently strong, so there is a lot of tension here. I would probably not recommend. I would do the two-hand if you have, most of the time, like this. But the action, long story short, kind of went down a rabbit hole there. The action is very good, very strong, very springy. As far as, automatics go, I think that's another 5. Fires very good, feels good when it comes out. It's very, very reliable, like I said. So 5 out of 5 there. Next up is acoustics. Sounds like an automatic knife. I really feel like if maybe there was some internal milling, that would hollow this out a little bit and allow the sounds to kind of reverberate. But as it is it, is it amazing? Is it blowing me away? No, but automatic knives just have this kind of distinction sort of sound that, you just get that really nice, satisfying thwack, thunders out of there, snaps into place. And there's just something about that just like is so good. I think having a little bit of internal milling would have really helped with maybe some better sounds. But as it is right now, I still think it's very much above average. Yeah, it sounds like an auto, but it's better in my opinion. So I can't go perfect here, but I'm going to go 4.5. I do think it's really good. And I think if you had some internal milling, it would just make it that much better. But again, very picky category when it comes to acoustics. So take it with a grain of salt, of course. But next up is ergos. And like we talked about earlier, of how simple this knife is when it comes to the aesthetics of it, that translates over very, very well into ergos. I can get all 4 fingers on here very, very comfortably. Feels great. I can feel the pocket clip a little bit, but honestly, the fact that the corner of the clip is out of my grip, that makes it a lot better, because I feel like if it was in it, that's where a little bit of a hot spot comes in. So if you have massive hands, that might be an issue. But for me personally, I just missed the edges in the corner of it, so not really causing much of a hot spot. You do have some jimming up top here, which it's very fine, but it's catchy, it's grippy, which is really nice. Just feels great in the hand. A pinch grip works really good, especially with this blade shape, as long as you're aware of where you're putting your thumb and it's not going onto the button. But for dropping down into Amazon packages, opening boxes, slicing through letters, things like that, works very, very good with that thin, slicey Magna Cut blade. The aluminum is really well done. It's rounded on all the edges. There's no sharp corners. It feels good. You can feel the inlays a little bit, but to me, that's not that big of a deal, excuse me. The transitions is what I have to say for the inlays, but not a deal breaker. And really they aren't that, I can only feel it kind of right here on this side and right here on this side, but they're really not bad whatsoever. But regarding grip, very, very comfortable in hand. Hammer grip, saber grip, reverse hammer grip. You can swing this around, and if you had to use it in a knife fight, to defend yourself or anything like that, this is a great blade to do it. And you get a nice little kind of landing ramp up here for your thumb if you have to really lock in. But ergos are fantastic, very, very comfortable, very sleek, very slim, very comfortable to hold in hands. That is getting a 5 out of 5. Next up is carry. I hate to jump right ahead, but another 5. Like I said, it's 2.3 ounces for a 3-inch blade. It's just over 4 inches, total wrapped up. Sits out in the pocket very well. You have a straight line, no jimping, no flipper tab, anything like that to possibly catch on your hand as you're pulling up out of your pocket. It sits down in your pocket very well. It pretty much goes deeper than, it's maybe not deeper, but it's just as deep as the, basically the top part of the blade. So it sits real nice and deep in your pocket. Reversible clip, which is really, really important. It's great. I've carried this, I think, just in my jeans and maybe my gym shorts around the house, but it just sits in the jeans very good, sits in your pocket very good. It's just so lightweight. It's so unobtrusive. I really can't say enough great things about this knife, and carry is definitely going to be one of them. So like I said, 5 out of 5, lightweight, slim, sleek, slicey, all the good things about what you want in a pocket knife. With carry, it comes with the Launch 20. Now that leads me to my final category of price point / what I recommend this knife / value. So I'm a little bit perplexed here because I have seen multiple price points on the interwebs. Obviously, the pricing is going to be higher on the Kershaw website, like I already said. I think it was like $190, $191, something like that on there. When I looked on Blade HQ, it's out of stock, so I didn't use the website down below. I think it was $144, but on here on Cutlery Shop, it is currently in stock for $132. So I don't know. I understand the Kershaw pricing because you're always going to get higher pricing on a retailer's website, but I don't understand why Cutlery Shop is like $12 cheaper than Blade HQ. I'm not going to complain. I think that's great. Maintenance guys going across on the golf cart. But I think that's a great value. I think that is a fantastic value. I don't think again, there's so many USA made out the side autos that I've never handled, but I think for the price, I think that this is the best value. I mean, I think it's one of the best looking OTFs. It's one of the best looking knives I've seen in quite a while. Feels great in hand, great to carry, great, action, great thin and slicey blade, great usable blade shape. For $132, I mean, I think that is a steal. And if you can find it on a site that can get you a discount code, or if you have some money saved up for, rewards, I think that's fantastic. So I think it's a great value. I can recommend it every day and twice on Sundays. I'm going to miss this knife. I really think that when I go back to wanting an auto, I'm going to get one of these in the collection, just because I think it's that good of a knife, guys. I really do. I think it's fantastic. For $130, you're getting a USA made auto with Magna Cut, beautiful blade shape, raw aluminum with beautiful marbled carbon fiber, a nice loop over style deep carry pocket clip. I know Lynch Northwest has replacements. You can get these if you want a little bit nicer of a clip. But as it stands right now, $130 for everything made in USA. How can you beat that? I really don't think you can beat it. I know there's close competitors, but I think that Kershaw really has hit the mark with this. And like I said, I cannot wait to see if they come out with any new variations in the future. But as it stands now, I love the way this one looks, features, cuts, carries, all the good things. Obviously, it's getting a 5 in the value category. Do I recommend this category? Yes. So I can do a quick math right here, and I can tell you guys that the Kershaw Launch is getting a 34.5. It's only 0.5 points away from being perfect, and I think that, the fact that this is only a not perfect knife because of the acoustics, that's a little bit kind of, again, take it with a grain of salt. This is pretty much a perfect OTF in my opinion, and I have really enjoyed carrying it. I am going to miss not having it in, and like I said, I think I'm going to add one of these to my collection in the future, because I want to have at least one OTF. I want to have at least one out the side auto, and I think the Launch 20 would be a great addition to my collection. So yeah, guys, I mean, let me know down below, did any of you guys pick up the Launch 20 when it came out a couple months ago? If you have one, do you love it? Do you hate it? Always let me know down below. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up now. So thank you guys, or excuse me, this was my full review on the Kershaw Knives Launch 20. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your morning, evening, day, night, whenever you're watching this. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.